So what we're looking at here is today we're going to install a K&N performance air intake system on a 2017 Dodge Durango RT. So we're just going to do an unboxing here, see what you get in the box. So we've got some, looks like some decals here, as well as some instructions. A piece of whatever that's called. Okay, one of these guys, one of these. Metal plate, we'll see where that goes. This is the long air intake tube. And these are the fasteners as well as the extension for the sensor. And it looks like there's also some grommets in there as well. An extension pipe. This is the actual air filter itself, which is rechargeable, so it means you don't have to replace it. You basically just, you can get a kit from K&N. I had one of these on my previous 2007 Dodge Durango Limited. And so basically what you do is you just vacuum them off, and then they have a cleaner product that you spray on it and then just wash it off. And then there's like an oil that that goes on here to finish it off. So that's the filter. This is part of the intake piece. Okay. Making a mess here. Okay, this is interesting because in other videos I've seen, this particular piece, this is where the filter sits. This particular piece in other videos I've seen has been plastic, so interesting that this is metal. So basically what you can see here is everything that's included in the box. So these are the instructions, and then the various pieces that we're going to assemble before we put it into the truck itself. And then this is what the filter looks like. I'll show you that. And so then that's our filter as well. So these are all the pieces that we need to put together. So I'm not sure if you can see this here, but these are the instructions. So the K&N part number is 63-1563. So this is going to fit a 2011 to 2018 Grand Cherokee, the 5.7 V8, and it also fits a 2011 to 2018 Durango V8 5.7 liter as well. So you can kind of see here how all of the pieces assemble together. So we'll take a look at the instructions and go from there. So looks like here we've got a K&N horsepower guarantee. So this kit is guaranteed to increase my horsepower. And so they show you here what you can expect. Looks like this is on a Grand Cherokee. I think it's the same engine. So you can see here that basically looks like an additional 17 horsepower we can expect from this. I've also heard that it makes a different sound for the engine as well. So what I'll do is I'll do a video, as part of this video I'll do a demonstration of what it sounds before and what it sounds like afterwards. But anyway, that's the guarantee there. So the instructions themselves look pretty well laid out. Gives you all the parts list. but it also explains to you how to remove, you can see here how to remove and all of the steps to take to remove the stock air intake and filter. And then you'll see on this side then there's some installation instructions, but I'll show how to do both of these procedures when we get to the vehicle here. But just like cooking, I like to see photos, so this will be helpful. But like I say, the video itself will show you how to disassemble the OEM one and then how to install the K&N one. So the first thing that we're going to do is install this piece here to the metal bracket. I don't know what size this is, but you'll see it's a hex bolt that needs to go in there, and so it looks like we need this washer here and then a locking nut for both. So that's those guys there. So let's get this installed. So just lightly tighten both up. And then we'll get that locked. I'm actually going to wait until this is installed in the vehicle, but basically you can see here this is the clamp that goes over here, and then you'll see that the air filter itself goes in there. But like I say, we'll install that once this unit is in the vehicle. Okay, so then next we'll take a look at some of the piping assembly here. So it looks like we need one of these guys, clamp that's going to go here. Looks like we've got this guy that pushes on. And then another clamp that's going to go on here. I believe these are 8mm sockets on these, so I'm going to go get those in a second. So that's kind of how that goes together. I can adjust those in a sec. And then this piece here looks like it goes on the other end. Maybe on a bit too far. Let's try this a different way. Okay, that looks better. So then again, another clamp that will, I'll adjust that in a second. So I guess that's one clamp that's going to go on here, and then another clamp right here. I should probably line those screws up, and then that will go into the rest of the vehicle. There's a hole here, I believe that's where a sensor goes, so it looks like this grommet, I'm assuming, will fit in here. Okay, looks like that's in. I may just play around with that a little bit just to make sure it's in properly. Okay, and then we have, looks like this piece goes in, screws in here. So obviously want to be careful we don't, this is made out of plastic, so we want to be careful we don't screw up the thread there. Just put that in for now. And then it looks like once we get it in the vehicle, this piece is actually going to go in there like that. And then these are some extension pieces as well, I think, for some of the sensors. So you actually get 2 bags of these here, so we'll wait until we're actually in the vehicle to install those. And then the only thing that doesn't look evident in the instructions is this particular piece. So we'll just figure that out as we go along here. You'll see it doesn't show where that's to be installed. Okay, looks like that fits pretty well there. Goes all the way around. We can always adjust that when we get it in the truck. The other piece is we should actually be installing this on here. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver just to put these on for now. But like I say, it's an 8mm bolt. And then this one we'll just leave loose. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the engine cover. You will notice that for my YouTube viewers, I did of course give a full engine bay detail here because I didn't want you to see a dirty engine bay. Anyway, so we'll remove this. I think it just pulls off. Yeah, and as you can see, not so clean underneath there, so we'll take care of that later. Next thing we need to do is remove this bolt here. Which is an 8mm. I'll just keep that aside there. Okay. Then we need to remove this sensor. I'm just going to go get a screwdriver. Okay, full disclosure, I'm not a mechanic. You don't need a screwdriver, you just need to push your finger down here. And I just had it. Just push it out. So we're going to pull that connector out. That's for the air sensor. Okay, now we're going to disconnect the crankcase vent hose from the valve cover. So I'm assuming that means pulling this guy out. There we go. Now we're going to release the 2 clips. There's one here and one here. And that should release the cover, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, so this is starting to come off. Then we're going to unhook some of the trim here. Pull this guy out to release this. can see that's the original air filter. That. Then we're going to remove the upper airbox intake tube assembly. I'm going to assume we need to undo this though before we do that. And then this all just pulls out. Okay. And then we want to dislodge this whole plastic piece here. There's just some grommets that hold it in. Okay, that seems fairly straightforward there. We need to remove 2 of these grommets. There is a third one there, but I don't think we need that, so I'll just keep that one in there. Give these a little bit of a clean. And then we'll stick these new, or these old grommets one in. And get the second one in here. Okay. And I'm assuming okay. So I'm assuming this goes in here, but because it's got to go in like that, but it looks like it's not matching up. So I think that's where this piece here may come into play. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, correction. Actually, what you're going to do is install it here and here. Okay, like so. Okay, so now we're going to add the filter itself. Just tighten this up. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Alright, next up we need to install the silicone hose provided. I'm assuming that goes on here. Okay, we'll take the air sensor out. You're supposed to release the locking tab, but I broke it. And then it just twists out. And then that's this guy out here, and then we can discard the rest. And then this actually needs to go inside assume it just screws through like this. And then we've got it inside there. Okay, so now we've got to install this to the engine, and I've already pushed this in. That's our sensors been put in. This has already been tightened, as is this one. So we'll just move that on there. And actually I'm wondering, it might be better to put this around here like this.
That's nice and tight.
Okay. And we can move on to...
Making sure not to over tighten this. That's pretty good.
Okay, so that's solid, that's not going anywhere. Feels pretty good there. Looks good here. Maybe I'll just tighten this guy up a little bit more. Okay, so that's all solid. And then the last thing we've got to do is just hook up the sensors, which I'm assuming those extension cables that we have will help with that. Two different types of sensor harnesses. There's this one here, which is 21680 and 21681. For the Durango, it looks like it's 21680, because if you look, that matches up, whereas of course that one doesn't. So we'll discard that one. Try not to lose it down the air filter. And then plug this guy, I'm assuming goes in there. And then that one's in there. Now it doesn't say to do this in the instructions, but I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall that bolt in the event I ever put it back in, the original one back in. So we'll just put that in there. By the way, if any of you are Dodge Durango owners and you're interested in how to install an OEM trailer hitch receiver, I have a video which I'll link up in a second here, and that gives you detailed instructions on how to remove the bumper, remove the old bumper underneath the metal bumper, and actually install the whole hitch kit. So I'll link that below. So then next up, just reinstalling the cover here, cover up my messy engine. Again, my apologies. Okay, so now we have the engine cover on, everything's tight, sensors connected, that all looks good, filters on nice and tight, and none of this is moving too much, so we're all good. Make sure we don't leave any parts. If anyone knows what the heck this piece is for, drop a line in the comments. I've got no clue, maybe it's not related to this. I'll have to research that. So next I'm going to go get my wife, we'll start it up and see if it sounds any different. Okay, so we're going to start it up now and see if it sounds any different. Yeah, it does sound a bit different. So the last thing that we want to do is just check that there's no check engine lights or any errors coming up. So we'll just fire up the Durango here. Of course the hood is open, so we'll still get that. And we'll just fire it up. Everything looks good there. it sounds like inside. Oh, sorry about that. It was making a bit of a cough as you let off the accelerator from when I was outside, and it does sound like it's making a bit of a whirring noise, which is kind of cool. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Full disclaimer, I am not a mechanic by trade, just a YouTube mechanic, so hopefully you found this video useful. And also just a reminder, if you do own a Dodge Durango RT that does not have the factory hitch installed, I do have another video which I'll link below that'll help you understand how to install all of that. Thanks for watching. I'll also include the parts numbers for all of this in the comment or in the section below, so you know which parts to order. So thanks for watching.